understand this. Just like Cheek the Sneak.
What's up, Pete?
Just like Sideways. And just like Mac Dre. When you hear that intro, particularly to my OGs, that's 45 and over, y'all already knew what it was. Y'all already know what it is. And for those that don't know, understand this. First of all, shout out to shout out to Kendrick Lamar for putting the eye back onto California. And while we're speaking of California, let me ask you this. For those that don't know, didn't recognize that intro, who is your favorite? Give me your favorite 10 rappers from the West Coast. Your favorite 10. And if you're from California, you can ride along too. Your favorite 10. Now, if you didn't know what that song was, and Sibo is not on your list, then, hey, this video is going to change your mind. Make sure you watch it all the way through so you can see, first of all, who Sibo is and why he was Tupac's favorite rapper. All right? But then not only that, once you hear this video, you'll find and understand why I never was able to get into Nas, the Biggies, and all that kind of stuff, because rappers like Sibo had not only Bay Area, but California on lock. You understand what I'm saying? And understand this, Sibo is not from the Bay Area, although the first time I listened to him, I thought he was. But then when you listen to the second song on his first album, which will probably be the third song, I believe, on this right here, you'll find out exactly where he's from, which is Sacramento, California. You understand what I'm saying? And no matter that, we understood from the very beginning, first listen, the boy was the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I remember me and my homeboys were sitting at the house in my dank room. Understand what I'm saying? We were sitting at the house listening, and somebody popped out that tape, and we listened to it all the way through, from start to finish. And guess what we did, y'all? Copped another dank sack, flipped the tape over, listen to it again. It was just that dope, man. This dude right here, wherever he is, where he's from. All right, so look, we're about to go ahead and get into this Bolo Flight by Sibo. Again, one of California's best, and I saw it in the interview where Tupac was talking about that was his favorite rapper. You be the judge for yourself, you know what I mean? But you'll notice that a lot of the style that Tupac, one of the styles that Tupac got from Sibo, and I'm going to highlight it when we get to it, it became a trademark in all the Tupac songs, all right? So look, before I go ahead and get started, I want to remind you to like, to comment, to subscribe. Remember, up and coming, and even established YouTube people, we need your likes, we need your comments, we need your subscriptions in order to grow. You understand what I'm saying? And speaking of growing, my page has been growing exponentially as of late, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You know what I mean? The goal is to get to 5,200 subscriptions by July 25th, 2025. Excuse me, July 5th of 2025, mine and Mac Dre's birthday. But not only that, this video is going to be one of those timeless ones because we're dealing with a timeless artist. So, you know, even if it's 10 years from now, you see this video, like, comment, subscribe. But in the meantime, between time, we want to give a shout out to the most recent subscribers. That is McNeil Hawkins Jr. Shout out to you. I already sent your subscription to your page or to your channel. Then we got Verone. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Verone Thomas. Shout out and peace that goes out to Verone Thomas. And then Harris Arbonos. All right. And then not only recently, we want to deal with the supportive subscribers that have been commenting and everything else. Like I said, all of us need it, and I love to go back and forth. You know what I mean? Talk to me, and I'll do my best to holler back at you. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, nickname 619S.S. Shout out to nickname 619, and then the AK UG1MD. You know what? This video gonna be for you, bro. I'm gonna dedicate the video to you. Don't know you, but you was the one that came through and agreed with me that Sibo came through on that last song, Outside, which is his most recent stuff. So look, we're gonna go ahead and get with this right here, get into this right here. Understand this, when it comes to these particular videos, we want to highlight the artists, we want to highlight their music, and we want to just, you know, check out the flow, how it's proven, and so on and so forth. And we're going to do so with Sibo. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to do so with Sibo. So here we go. First song that I got, 10 out of 10 on the flow. You understand what I'm saying? But this just gives you a brief history of who Sibo is, who he was, what his life was like. So here we go. Turn your subs up, turn your beat up.
On my bones, hitting every yard call. Just being a G. 11. I kill like in Pakistan when I step with my murder weapon. Visualizing on the hardcore survival. Hit like a pit with the blade on my AK rifle. Yelling out war. Then blast off 223, strictly hardcore. Killing off all enemies. Niggas bleed. Bucking them down till they fucking need. They should have known from the gate they can't fuck with these.
Now nigga pass the Ruger to the right hand side. It's young Mac Moore from the 5-5. And I hold a AK to the day that I die. Blood of cutties from the crew. Now we all getting high. If you're having to catch a body, plead the fifth is my reply. I'm strictly crest side, so your street on mine. Roll with my heater, got nabbed 2 times. Got Fetty on a lawyer, so I'm out main line.
All right. For those that don't know or didn't know, that was young Mac Ball at a young age coming through on the Sebo album, right? Came through on the Sebo album, and he held his own. You know what? I actually forgot Mac Ball was on that song because, once again, when we highlight these artists, documenting their past and, where they came from and everything else, I'm trying to do solo joints, you know what I mean? No other artists on there. These is they solo songs, so that one fell through. But on that note, let me remind y'all that Mac Ball, I did a Flow and Prove. I did this episode on Mac Ball just a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you look that up. It's called Mac to the Past. Mac Ball highlighting his songs, you know what I mean? And he held his own on that one, you know what I'm saying? I still don't understand where the 535 is coming from, but it's part of his clique, you know what I'm saying? But listen to what Sebo said, though. He said, I've been a menace since age 11 with my favorite guns are Mac 11. You know what I mean? That might be why, because it's age 11, I don't know. But the boy was straight flowing on that one. You know what I'm saying? He was straight flowing. So, that's what it's all about. When I say flow and prove, we understand that rap is an art form and not that we condone everything, And I venture to say that don't take these lyrics for serious, you know what I mean? Nobody comment on what they did or nothing like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's art. You understand what I'm saying? It's art. Although Sebo is listed as one of the first rappers to went to jail for the art he produced in his songs. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he talked about in his songs. But, it just is what it is and was what it was. So now, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, because that song included Mac Mall. You know what? I got to do one more. Let's go with this song right here. I'm just going to slip this in real fast because, like I said, I wasn't intending to put that last song on there. I wanted an all solo flight. So we're gonna go with this one. This is another intro to a great album. Matter of fact, talk about best intros to an album. This is one of them right here. This is one of them. Here we go. This is Sebo, y'all, from the Gas Chamber album, Black 6'4". First song I ever heard by Sebo, me and my homeboys. Here we go.
And hit the block non-stop, nigga straight out boning, just passing through. Didn't have no strap, put my finger at your ass and said smoke like that. Hit your enemy block.
Let me help you understand it. Understand this. This was the first thing you gotta understand. This is pause and play, okay? You wanna hear the whole song, you want a lyric video, I promise I plan to put up a lyric video for each one of these songs. Again, this one wasn't even intended to be on here, but because the last one included Mac Mall, I had to double back to this one right here. But when he said, I'm just passing through and didn't have no strap, he talking about enemy territory. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, put my fingers out and said smoke like that. Just letting them know that, hey, it ain't cool. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't even strapped, but I'm just letting y'all know I'm out here. You understand what I'm saying? So, both talk is talk, man. I'm telling you. Here we go.
4 cars deep, 2 shells, 1 black, and an IROC Z. Riding low shotgun, gauge ready to peel. Windows down, top drop, bumping realer than real.
Bumping my music, though, as we coming through, though. You know what I'm saying? Me and a couple more cars right behind me. You understand what I'm saying? We just riding through, though. Styling and profiling. That's just how they used to do it back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Especially on gold ones, you know what I mean? It was not smart to just ride on gold ones just by yourself on a good Saturday or whatnot, because why? You got fools who try to jack you. So if you ride on gold ones, you're on paper, that is being on probation or whatnot, you don't always ride with your strap, you know what I mean? But the brother behind you and the brother behind him might have they strap, though. You know what I'm saying? That's how the real G's rolled back in the days. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about the big time, like the real big timers having their money. And again, they had time to just go out and just outside a little bit. That's the way they did it. Here we go.
Hit the block, gauge cock hanging blowing the dope. 7 shot, 1 squeeze, ride pump, you know.
Oh, he just switched gears now though. This is another kind of ride right here. This is another kind of ride. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This is a different type of ride right here. And he said the ride pump across the top of the car though. You know what I'm saying? From the passenger side holding the car and whew.
Never slip in the streets of the garden block, cause motherfuckers get smoked a lot. Hit the flow when I come, you try to run, you get gunned down. But deep on the creek, about to put your ass to sleep.
He just said it's best to just hit the ground when I come. You know what I mean? When I hit the block, you just best to just hit the ground. Because if you try to run, that's like what grandma used to give you whoopings back in the days. You know what I'm saying? If you stood there, you know, it might not last long. But if you try to run, oh, it's on, popping. You know what I mean? But in this case, though, he said if you try to run, you're getting gunned down. You know what I mean? So probably want to take heed to what he's saying. When it's on, it's popping like that, get low as possible. You know what I mean? If you got something to cover you up, then okay. But if not, you want to be level with the ground in situations like that. You know, survival skills. That's what we're talking about.
And ain't no sense in locking up the door, cause one kick from one of the clicks and we'll be in that hoe.
Ain't no sense in locking the door. You know what I mean? Because we going to kick the door down.
So make way as I unload my AK on your house, then dig grave as I take your closest family members out.
Once again, I'm not condoning it, but the artwork was there. See, the thing about hip-hop and rap is being able to put the lifestyle, the way things go down from your town and where you're from into a rap to where everybody can get a vivid idea. It's a painted picture, a movie, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? This is how they doing it in Sacktown. So let me take it back so we can move forward. Again, pause and play, y'all. Just pause and play. Lyric video on the channel. Go see it.
So make way as I unload my AK on your house, then dig grave as I take your closest family members out. It's the boat. I thought you knew, oh punk, you didn't know. Well, me my 44.
Whoa, that was the bar. He said it's the bow. In other words, it's C-bow. I thought you knew. Oh, you didn't know? Well, me my 44.
Face to face, we shoot out with the next hood. On the creek, they say the boat love's no good. And it's your ass that got me pulling the mask, popping the cap. Want me to tap daddy on that ass with my mask. It's all for one and one for all. Fucking with the bow and I be busting and getting AWOL.
AWOL, and getting out of there. You understand what I'm saying? That was the name of his record label, too, as well. You know, Absent Without Leave, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's talk about your double entendres, and then, like I said, he was on paper. He knew he was on probation and whatnot, too, so, you know, may even have to scam in the midst of it all, but that's what he was talking about. This is a long time ago, y'all. Just letting you know, long time ago. But again, don't check the wordplay. That's what we're talking about.
Pulling a gat, going in for the old Big Jack. Caught them fools on their back, woke them up with the Mac. Now give me the scrap. Cause that's how we living in 93. I watch my back, cause I be strapped, cause ain't no jack in seat. So don't try it, let's pop 29, I knew his line. I started firing, now one at a time, they all the time. Close range, living in strange, can't be tamed. I pull the Mac and take the police out the fucking game. I've been a slave, and I ain't going back. Police jack with the intentions, they send it back.
Again, I don't know how y'all feel about it, and like I said, I wasn't even intending to include that song on here, but it fits, though. It definitely fits. And he said they police Jack with the intentions to send me to VAC. You know what I mean? VAC is Vacaville, one of the penitentiaries in California. The state of federal penitentiary, I don't know for sure. I believe it's a state penitentiary. But that's what he's talking about, though. You know what I'm saying? I guess from Sacramento, that was the intake at that particular time. Now, for the whole state of California, it's San Quentin is the intake. That's where everybody got to go through and go, you know what I mean, before they go to wherever they're going to spend their time at. So, shout out C-Bo on that one right there. We're going to go from that one right on to the next song, though. You understand what I'm saying? This one right here. This is when he... That was hard, but when we heard this next one right here, that's when he locked in. We was locked in. Oh, C-Bo was the truth. Let's go. APMD.
My K is putting in much work, popping the clip, a little voice in my head said murder.
So he already doubled down on the next song, talking about doing a drive-by. You know what I'm saying? I pop in the clip and the voice in my head said murder.
Stuck the tip out the window and fucked them all. Took their ass to the hump like that. basketball.
That boy said took him to the hole like basketball. Ooh, Sebo was something else. Let's go back and we're going to go for it.
The tip out the window and fucked them all. Took their ass to the hump like basketball. Hit the club, got drunk, put the gang, start getting off. Oh geez, kept the fuckers from my soft dog. I know they mad, but I give a fuck. What goes around comes around, they should have ducked.
There you go. Back to that original line. Hit the block when I come, you better run it, get done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Did he say better run and get done? I thought he said you better get ducked to get done. You know what I mean? If you ran, you try to run, you get gunned down. That's what he said. So on this one right here, he said he should have ducked. You know what I mean? Same thing. He just told you the same thing all over again. But this part right here.
We open fire on the whole motherfucking crowd. Jumped out, start beating motherfuckers down. Then I'm sideways, coming up the speed bump. I'm standing up in the drop with the rock pump. My name is Cowboy C, both for show.
I love that part right there because this is the thing about it. I guess on the streets, and he did claim Crips, if I'm not mistaken, long back then, way back then or whatnot. And he said my name is Cowboy. That was his name. You know what I'm saying? Sebo for sure. As a rapper, he came as Sebo. Matter of fact, he got a song called Cowboy. I should have put that on the list. It's not on this list for this particular video, but go check it out for yourself though. With Cocaine on the hood. This one had Cocaine earlier joints too. You know what I'm saying? I knew who Cocaine was because he was out in 1994. And this is not long after he had done Wrong Idea with Snoop, so he definitely had made a name for himself. And so for him to have Cocaine on there, that was dope. You know what I mean? From Northern California, Southern California. If nobody else was listening, we was listening. You know what I'm saying? So his name is Cowboy, Sebo for sure.
When niggas hear Cowboys, they hit the flow. Cause they know I'm a goddamn psycho. And I always bust caps at the night show. Young punks won't funk, but they don't. Shoot once, hit the gas, and then they gone.
He said the young punks won't funk, but they don't. They act like they want it, but they don't. They shoot once in the air, and then they gone. You know what I'm saying? Woo, Bo was something else. You know what I mean? They just front. You know what I mean? They won't funk, but they don't. Oh.
Psycho, and I always bust caps at the night show. Young punks won't funk, but they don't. Shoot once, hit the gas, and then they gone. Lil' hoe try to pick boat like an afro. Didn't know I just got press triple low. I'm a mob, the killer make my dick hard. You wanna war, you better have a bulletproof card. Cause the shit that we packing ain't water gun. So when we kick, listen up, hoes better run.
First thing I think of when he say that, well, we packing ain't water gun, is the hood to hood videos. You know, they was in West Oakland. Shout out to them boys out there. They was hard as I don't know what, too. You know what I mean? Peace to Mac Black. I never knew who he was personally. Never heard of him, but you could tell he was a real one. You know what I mean? I know he made some good music and everything else, so peace out to that brother. But what he said way back then, though, is, well, we packing these ain't no water guns. You know what I'm saying? So when we start busting, you better run.
I don't like shooting hoes, I like to fuck. You don't double card, cause the shit that we packing ain't water gun. So when we kick, listen up, hoes better run.
And he said the women better run. You know what I'm saying? I'm today years old when I figured this line out. Now, this might be a reach, but y'all rock with me though, rock with me. Now, he said twice, you better not run when we start shooting because you're getting gunned down. Now, on this one, he said the women better run, though. He said the HOs better run. I don't like shooting HOs, though. You know what I'm saying? So if you run, I see you're a female, you good. I like how you did that. Is that what you meant, Bo? On that one? I don't know. But I like how that went, though. I like how that went.
Packing ain't water gun, so when we kick, listen up, hoes better run. I don't like shooting hoes, I like to fuck. You don't duck, you get witness getting fucked up. Roll them 7 deuce cutlass, can't touch this. Foe smoke like dope when I say fuck this. Roll my windows down, still smoke tinted. Shotgun, Mac, glocks all up in it. And we all pack heat, cause we all family. So watch your back, motherfucker, understand me? So if you're mobbing through the state fair, hope you got that gat in the trunk, cause we gon' start.
That was the line right there. That was the line. That's how we knew where he's from. So he already talked about being from out of town and everything. So he said, if you come into the state fair, in those days, I don't even know if they still have it nowadays. I wouldn't go to the state fair if the state paid me a fare to go, personally, because I know how I could go down up there. But he said, if you mobbing through the state fair, I hope you got your gat in your trunk because we going to start falling. If we don't know y'all, we finna start. We gonna start fall. Man, let me take it back. We gonna go forward. Bo.
In it, and we all pack heat, cause we all family. So watch your back, motherfucker, understand me? So if you're mobbing through the state fair, hope you got that gat in the trunk, cause we gon' start funk. We hit the out-of-town clubs like nuts. We in the drop 5 schools and the cut. I watch niggas get jealous when they host jock. That's when I go and take the finest hoe and take a walk. Cause I'm the motherfucking Bo, and Bo knows hoes like to get fucked on triple gold.
If you're not from California, Northern California especially, and you don't know what triple goals is, then I put a picture here for you. But hey, triple gold dating. So he said we gonna come through in our clean. We gonna come in our drop old schools and cutlasses. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get at your broad because I know she want to ride on some triple gold. You understand what I'm saying? Just talking this talk though. You know what I mean? Taking it back so we can go forward. Let's get it.
Jock, that's when I go and take the finest hoe and take a walk. Cause I'm the motherfucking Bo, and Bo knows hoes like to get fucked on triple gold. That's why I keep a sheep in my back seat and sheepskin on my dick so she don't leak. And I hear the virgin hoes be scared to meet me, cause I get the pussy hoes out so deeply. Straight mob, spray the fucking club up, and make the jackets put their gloves up. And one times can't fuck with me, cause they 305s can't fuck with the 350.
He said the one times can't mess with me because they 305s can't mess with the 350s. What does he mean by that? Well, they driving their cars, and at that time they was driving, I think it was a Dodge, maybe it was a Chevy. It was Chevys. They had 305 motors in it. And he said we in cutlasses though with the 350 Rockets, fastest 350s that was out there at that time. You understand what I'm saying? Probably period. I ain't not just at that time, but 350 Rockets. If you had a 350 Rocket, you was riding something. You understand what I'm saying? My first colors had a 350 Rocket. I used to blow everything on the freeway. You know what I mean? Coming from the skating rink or whatnot, the Oaktown boys and everything else, we used to just fly and glide through there. You know what I'm saying? Pull over on females on the freeway to holler at them. You know what I mean? Just the life we was living. California lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, he said the 305s can't mess with the 350s though.
50, every corner I hit, I'm getting sideways. Haven't lost by the time I hit the highway. See, the ball head nut. Fish tailing in the cut.
Fish tailing in the cut. That's why he talk about the cutlass. You know what I'm saying? In the cut. Fish tailing that thing though. Getting away from the rollers. You know what I mean? This next part right here. Remember this line because we're going to hear it another time in a minute. But check this out.
House parties, I turn the motherfuckers out and bust caps at the end, without a doubt. I grab the mic and start kicking the gangster shit. Hoes no seatbelt, make niggas click.
So he said at the house party, I'm going to turn it out. You know what I mean? If you let me get on the microphone, I'm going to turn it out. And then bust caps at the end, without a doubt. Let them know that I'm real. Everything I just talked about, I'm about it. You understand what I'm saying? That's basically what he's saying.
I start talking about Glocks and Mac 10s, and now put my jacks on the kingpin. And the niggas know better to fuck with me. The head honcho of the M.O.B.B. I ain't the richest, but they say I'm the lowest, and the one who keep the mob in the showbiz. And at the conscience, I'm keeping the crowd hype, cause I get that kind of shit that everybody like. I take a monster beat, do a monster rhyme, have monsters kicking up dust all the time. From the women, they be showing me much love. Let me squeeze the Charmin every time they get a hug. Only time they get the rub on the bald head is if Alexa's on my shoulder and we in the bed.
I used to love that line, especially when I found out I was rocking ball fades back then, but love that line. He said the women show me much love. They let me squeeze the Charmin every time I get a hug. The only time they get the rubber on my bald head is if Alexa's on my shoulders and we in the bed. Oh, and you know they let me hit them sideways for the fact that's how I came off the highway. In other words, they're going to let me have my way because they know I'm about this here, what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's how I came off the highway. Here we go.
And you know the hoes will let me hit them sideways for the fact that's how I came off the highway. She rolled the ball, head nut. Fish tailing in the cut.
Understand this, y'all. That's just his first video. First song, rather. Not video. We're about to get into his first video that I know of. Actually, here's the thing. No hook, no nothing. He just talked with his talk, did one long verse. Shout out Too Short, you know what I mean? Where you just do one long verse or whatnot. Shout out Rakim that did the same thing too on As the Rhyme Goes On. And no hook or nothing though. He just said what he said and that's it. Let the beat do the rest. So, speaking of the beat and doing the rest, We about to get in a song where he actually did have a hook on it. All right, we're about to get into that one now. This video is a video of a song on his first album. But the video didn't come out back then. Now, he made the video after this is probably like his, I want to say third video or something like that. I guess he just realized that he should have, this is a classic. It was my favorite song on his first album, and he needed to make a video for it. Most of y'all are today's old to find out that he actually had a video for this song. But when you listen to it, you're going to understand. You're going to agree with me. This is one of the favorite songs by Sebo. To me, is it the best song on that album? To me, it's one of my favorite songs on that album. Baldhead Nut go crazy as far as the flow, but as far as the concept of a song and the completeness of a song, the beat on the song and everything else. Speaking of beat, shout out Mike Moses Studio Tone now. And shout out to Sebo for knowing who to go to produce his album. At that time, they was on top, rocking with the click and everything else. And Sebo, though he wasn't on sync with it, was clicked into the click. And again, he knew who to get. And let me tell you about the one time I believe I met Sebo. Well, I didn't meet him personally, but I messed with some factors out of Richmond, California, back long time ago. And we took us a ride up to the Nut Tree in Vacaville, California, as a matter of fact. And these brothers came from Sacktown. They was in a green. Only Sebo could say if it was him or not. They was in a green Elco, a candy green El Camino with a gold was on it with a gold fifth wheel in the back. Now, this is before his first album came out. This was in late 91, matter of fact. I'm riding with my boys in Factors, you understand what I'm saying? We just on a little rental. And then they pulled up, and I remember my folks was like, man, they showing, trying to let us know that they doing their thing, you know what I mean? Out that Sacramento. That was the halfway point. And, they did what they did, and, we went on back towards, back to Richmond, and they went on back to wherever they went. But if I'm not mistaken, because I heard the Factor's name mentioned in some Sebo song, I'll let you put two and two together. But anyway, that was long time ago. That was the encounter I had with who I believe was Sebo. This one right here, we're about to get into it. Like I said, my favorite song on that first album by Sebo, the one I listened to the most. This was called 4 Deep, and with the video, Sebo.
Yeah, nigga, back in your face with the 20 gauge. My nigga Mike Mosley coming dope as the dope. Motherfuckers can't cope. Sebo finna preach some street knowledge to you young niggas out there, you know what I'm saying? Put you up on what's going down in the 9-track. So we gon' do this way, get sideways on the motherfuckers like this, man. We hit the garage, 4 deep, then we backed out. Windows up in the cut, getting tacked out. Summertime vacation, hoes waiting for me to bend the block on them triple gold datings. But I ain't tripping off of no groupie ass hoochie. Cause where I'm from, they catch loogies. Freeloading assholes on the bumper jocking. As I hit the block, bitch telling and rocking. Clowning like a motherfucker, let the top down. Beat on pound, shaking the whole town. Pull in the lot now that I'm living nappy. Fuck the stash spot strap with my big daddy. Liquor store, here we go. Got my phone on the side of my waist to be safe, just in case a knucklehead punk try to jack, so I can step back and bust him with my big man. Trying to survive in the streets is do or die. Rolling 4 deep, strapped with my 4-5. Got to be strapped, you know what I'm saying? Cause motherfuckers coming from all over to get these gold things, so I'ma live like this. We striked about the parking lot, drinking lap. I see some niggas in the vet giving up dap. They smoked them up at the stop sign, I'm breaking gas. I hit the pedal, whipped the $1.50 and shook my ass. That's when I cracked my top. Crazy horse, of course, both with the drunk drive and sport. But I'ma keep it low, profile between my lap. Look at the cops and smile. I try to block the evil thoughts in my head. Creeping close range, pulling a gap, leaving them dead. But I think I take the other route, which is the under route. Mugging as I turn my music down, cause they can't stand to see 4 black G's high siding in the drop, living nappy. But let the boatload get further before they had me A-walk for a murder. Dub past the picture dome from the back seat. Dang G, hit it for 10, hold it for 20. Exhale the smoke, I feel the chronic tears drop slowly down my cheek as I choke. I had to pull to the curb because of the earth. Got my 45 paranoid as a bird. Trying to survive in the streets is do or die. Rolling 4 deep, strapped with my 4-5. They came handle the motherfuckers down. Come on, man, let's go. Paid him off proper for the non-tray. Pack a chopper, creep on my prey with the AK. If you act hungry, I pull the Glock and feed ya. But I'm boat deep, so the boat don't need ya. Pray to your Lord as I come through the front door. Now I'm in the house, every song's hardcore. Tape in the deck, fat ass respect. Anyone that moves, T-snap they neck. Just another G from the dark streets where shadows get beat down to the concrete. We pull the who rides on the under, cause underground funk make the white punks wonder. How did we bump 5,000 hits in one night? And just another motherfucking no trace homicide. Turn my back to the crowd, saying I'm foul, cause they know that bumping at this gangsta shit for a while. So I keep my crowd hype, pull out the nine and make the crowd jump twice. Then we both deep, Audi 5 smoking, block to block, they hear the go things choking. Trying to survive in the streets is do or die. Rolling 4 deep, strapped with my 4-5. Trying to survive in the streets is do or die. Rolling 4 deep, strapped with my 4-5.
Understand what I was saying about the Sebo and Tupac. That was the first song that I just showed with y'all today, where the first song that I showed y'all today, where he actually put a hook together that was almost like another verse, but it ties the whole song together. If you think about it, Tupac was the best at that. I won't deny you, I'm a straight rider. You don't want to with me. I got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. And that was the hook of the song. You see what I'm saying? Every other video, a hook. It's another verse, but the hook though. You understand what I'm saying? Dope. That was just dope. You know what I mean? I don't know how y'all feel about that one right there. Some of y'all first time seeing the video. Shout out to Sebo for making the video for my favorite song from that album. He could have did any other song on that album, but that was the video. You know what I mean? Speaking of a favorite song though, I think when it comes down to Sebo, and you want to show, if I want to show anybody who Sebo was, as a matter of fact, if I wanted to show one song by, well actually I did a Flow Improved before, one of my early episodes. Make sure you go check it out. I believe it's like number 8, you know what I'm saying, somewhere around there. But I did America's Nightmare, so you're not going to see that on this video. Let y'all know that's when he was flowing like Ice Cube or something like that. He just went in on that one. But it has its own separate, you know what I mean, on there. Well, we went through all the lyrics, pause play, all that good stuff, everything else. So make sure you go tap into that one. But if I was just to show somebody today, I'm talking about today. I mean, today, you know, you ain't never heard Sebo before, and I just wanted to just show you a song by Sebo. I couldn't think of a better song to let you hear than this right here.
Yeah, it's on again. 195. 187 in the half. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna feel it. All the killers gonna feel me. Murder man's for the morning. Murder rap is my motherfucking hobby, and I won't roll if it ain't about a 187 robbery. Hitman on the list, police pissed, 'cause Taz hit and they miss.
When he say Taz hit and they miss, if you don't know who Taz, okay, Taz. You got the police department, you got the SWAT team. Well, you also had the task force. I forgot what TAG stands for. Is it tactical, something? I don't know. But they was the ones that was looking for the dope dealers and stuff like that as far as police go. Local police had a task force. Bay Area, Oakland had a task force. Richmond had a task force. I'm led to believe San Francisco had a task force as well. So he said that police is mad because the task hit and they missed. You know what I mean? They trying to catch him, but they didn't get him with nothing. You know what I mean? Ah. He said, I heard it go for 80 G's in another city. He doesn't specify. He said, so for that reason, I moved on. I saddled up my cattle and got my groove on. You know what I mean? My folks, the fact I mentioned before, they did the same thing. You know what I mean? There became a time where there was too much competition in the Bay, and there's only so much money to be made off them things. You understand what I'm saying? But if you could get them across a couple state lines to another state, to another city, triple the profit, making more than we did in Cali. Shout out Ice Cube. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I personally didn't get involved in all that. As a matter of fact, when it was offered, and I could talk about this because my folks did end up getting caught up, and they did some time and everything else, so I could talk about it. But when the offer came my way, my son was just born. 93, he was just born. So everything I needed was right here in the Bay. And I'm glad I didn't catch that train because, again, like I said, it got locked up. But that was the way it went back then, though. You understand what I'm saying? So here we go. He said, I heard they go for 80 G's, so I moved on. Saddled up my cattle and got my groove on. What's the cattle? Probably his homeboys, his clique, and everything else, you know what I mean? And just his belongings in general. And went on over there to get his money. So he said, I'm still running, meaning running them kicks, running them things, you know what I mean? No danger from gunning because it ain't no funk out here. It's a whole other thing, you know what I mean? And if they did jump off, I still would bust and leave the crowd stunned and let them know, oh, this boy from Cali ain't no joke. Hey, he said, shoot them up from their knees, you know what I mean? And knocking they women, you know what I'm saying? Push them to the pillows until they can't breathe. You understand what I'm saying? Giving it to them. He said, don't try to mess me over. Shout out Scarface, you know what I mean? But don't test me because I'm tired of teaching lessons. Even in a new state, you know what I'm saying? Burnt up the American flag, and you know what I mean? And then this next line right here is vital. This is right here. Like he said, if you try to test me, this is what's going to happen. Remember what he said about you try to run, you get gunned down? He said, we bring the funk to your front porch. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no trying to catch you on the street like that to your front porch. And the last fool that tried to run out got blasted and torched. Yeah. That line is important. He said, I stood hard on the yard from elementary to the penitentiary. In other words, letting these out-of-state cats know who y'all dealing with. I've been this way, from elementary to the penitentiary. Been through all of that. You understand what I'm saying? So, so he said, on this next part right here, I'm just going to give it to you early. This is the first time where not the first time, this is another time where he gives one of them hooks. And this is the reason why I had to go with the original version. If y'all don't know, this is the original version. Most of y'all listen to the remix. I like the remix because it got more verses, but this right here is more solid than any of them, though. You get what I'm saying? This is on the Boss Ballin' compilation. Shout out D-Shot. Put a Boss Ballin' compilation when compilations was great. You know what I mean? Well, compilation was a new thing. Let me say it like that. The first couple of them that came out was great. This right here fell in the category of not so great, although it had a couple of the best songs on there. This was on there. RBL Posse was on there. I can't remember if it was Drew Down, The Governor, The Delinquents. Some dope names. This one I first heard 3 Times Crazy, too, with that Hit the Gas. But again, the compilation was not the best. Understand what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, Shanti and them on there. I might have to go listen to it again and see if it aged well or not. But this right here, by far, the dopest song on there, one of the dopest songs we ever heard on a compilation. The hook goes like this. So come get what you want. Even though I'm out of state, you can come get what you want. But don't be surprised by that infrared that's on my pump. Now go for what you see. Because ain't nothing but the hog in me. So in other words, we could get it up. I mean, you want it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but the hog in me. You know what I mean? Then that last song, that Black 6-4 is where we're going to get the old school scratching a hook from another song I've done already. Bring those lyrics back in this song and make it in the hook as well. So you got the recited hook, and then you got the DJ or the producer bringing in another hook, tying the song all together. So here we go. Remember that? Hit the block when I come. You try to run, you get gunned down. Remember that? From the other song. Here we go. I thought you knew, you didn't know. I'll be my 44. Growing up now, he said, time went by fast. Remember he said from from the yard, from the elementary to penitentiary. He finna give you a brief life lesson, life history. You know what I mean? He said time went by fast. I grew up fast.
Now I'm 16, cold with dope in my ass.
16, I had some dope, and you heard what he said. Got caught with some dope there. You know what I mean? Because once upon a time, that's where you had to put your dope sack at. You know what I mean? You don't want to put it in the bushes or nothing like that. So that's where you kept it at. Hard to catch you with it like that unless they start bringing out the dogs and everything else. But anyway, that's the verse. That's how it goes. Now, how did he get caught with it? I don't know. Maybe because they had dogs. So here we go.
Ain't giving no breaks. Only found a half an ounce and they screaming 7 years. Why?
They caught it with a half ounce in his butt cheeks. And they said they're going to give him 7 years in YA. You know what I mean? And here's the truth of the matter. And I love this line because it just, like I said, there's no feeling like once you get caught and you're in jail, realizing whatever they want to do with you, they can do. So he say they talking 7 years in YA, Youth Authority, California Youth Authority. He was 16. They talking about 7 years, so he ain't going to get out till he's like 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? And listen to the next line. He said, I can't do nothing but ride, shackled up. You know what I mean? Because you can't do nothing. You're already locked up. Got to do the 7 years. No local G's looking over him no more. You know what I mean? He was only 16. He was a YG. He said, no more local G's, no more OGs looking over me. I'm on my own now. You know what I mean? But the first night, the essays, the Mexicans struck a BH in his sleep. You know what I mean? BH, I'm thinking that's a bounty hunter. Blood, you know, it's because California Youth Authority, so you liable to have anybody from California. BH, one said I know. I don't know if all the Bloods call themselves BH, but I know that Nickerson Gardens in L.A., they had some BH. They call them bounty hunters, you know what I mean? And then I heard Missy Marv claim bounty hunters one time, too. So Frisco, I don't know if San Francisco had any bounty hunters. The Bay Area, we're not known for having no gangs. You understand what I'm saying? It skipped over from Southern California to Sacramento, Stockton. They got them as far as Crips and Bloods go. But the Bay, the Yay not really known for that. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't 100% say I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that right there. But I know that's what he said. They struck a BH in his sleep. And I'm pretty right about that. Mind you, he was a Crip. So he said, no more cell block. We all in one dorm. You know, sometimes you're in jail, it's like a dorm or a barracks. Like in the Army, they have a barracks. Well, in the penitentiary, you can have cell blocks or you can have a dorm. You know what I mean? So if you're in a dorm, everybody all locked up in the same dorm. So shipped to the main line. The main line is where, you know, general population. That's another way of saying general population. So you know you got to be on guard all the time because anything can go down when you're on the main line. That's what he's saying. You know, that's why you hear a lot of OGs brag about how they wasn't PC'd up. They wasn't in protective custody. They was always in general population, ready for whatever. That's the flex.
They see me put it down, shot me till you were home. For 30 days, lock a basketball in my closet.
He said they seen me putting it down. Who saw me? Correctional officer only. Seen him putting it down, getting active with it. You know what I'm saying? Put him in Yuba Hall. You know what I mean? What's that? I'm guessing solitary confinement. You know what I'm saying? For 30 days, lock of basketballs in my drawer. You know what I mean? Hard, horny, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Basketballs in my drawers. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, between time, I had to take it back just a little bit so we can get this verse. Let's go. He said, but back on the streets, in the meantime and between time, back on the streets, my younger brother's balling birds. My younger brother is the man out there. He getting money, you know what I'm saying? I've been locked down for 2 birthdays, and I'm headed for my 3rd. That's how long he been in jail for.
2 birthdays, and I'm headed on my 3rd. Hair just dropped past my shoulders. Been shot down 3 times by the boulders. Fresh out the gates to a fat sack of doja. Mind already made for parole, I'm a soldier.
The hardest line in the song right there. Fresh out the gates to a fat sack of doja. Dang. Marijuana, chronic, whatever you want to call it. As soon as he get out of jail, he's smoking. Mine already made. I ain't worried about parole because I'm a soldier. That was the hardest line ever. After doing this time, He already had his mind made up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about parole because I'm a soldier.
Past my shoulders, been shot down 3 times by the boulders. Fresh out the gates to a fat sack of doja. Mind already made for parole, I'm a soldier. Sucked up game from a BG to a young G. May take a pose to swing doja in 29th Street. I give a shot to my homies in the pit now. And for your snitches, hope they keep off in that asshole.
Head and dropped past my shoulders. That's how long his hair grew. Been shot down 3 times by the boulders. I'm guessing that's something that they do when you get out of line in jail. You've been shot down 3 times. Not shot by bullets, but shot by the boulders. Beanbags, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mine already made. Forget parole, I'm a soldier. So peep the game from a BJ to a young G. You know what I'm saying? From me to a young G. You know what I mean? And then he give a shout out to his streets. You know what I'm saying? Garden Block, it was from 29th and 23rd. I think they was all clicked together. I'm going to rewind it back, make sure I said it right, then we're going to go forward. Let's go. Maintain composure, slang doja in 29th Street. Maintain your composure. You know what I mean? Yeah, 20. And then he said, I give a shout to my homies in the pen, though. And for you snitches, hope they deep up in that word he used. You know what I mean? Bo solidified himself. If you wasn't too sure before this song, when you heard this right here, you said, oh yeah, he's a real straight.
Give a shout to my homies in the pit now. And for your snitches, hope they keep off in that asshole. Come through with your mom, but don't be surprised if they ain't no red on my part. What you see, 'cause ain't nothing but the hug in me. Straight motherfucking.
Release the trigger as I blast on it. Shout out Spice One on there. He had Spice One mixed in with that hook too. Hey, I hope y'all are rocking with this and liking it half as much as I like putting it together because it's just a documentary. You understand? Just showing you that Bo, like I said, he's the Scarface of the rap game for the West Coast. Why do I say that? Well, when they came to Scarface up until a couple of years ago, Scarface wasn't recognized and wasn't getting his flowers the way he should. You know, I used to always tell a young person, hey, ask your uncle or your dad, you know, somebody that's 45 and over, who is your favorite rapper? Your top 5 rappers. Let them name them and then ask them, what about Scarface? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, oh, yeah, I got to put Scarface up in there. Well, Sebo was in that same vein. You know, you ask somebody from the West Coast, you know, give me your top, let's say 10 rappers, and they name them. And then if Sebo is not in it, ask them, say, what about Sebo? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, oh, yeah, I got to put Sebo up in there too. What about you? Has he grown on you yet? When you get to really listen to what he's talking about? Look, we're finna get into this next song. Let me preempt it by saying, when this one came out, I don't know how well he was doing as far as his money because he was in and out the penitentiary. You know what I mean? Then he came out with he was in and out the penitentiary for his lyrics, for being active and everything else because he was still young back then. You know what I mean? That's why I don't mind talking about and breaking down the lyrics. Well, this next song, I like how he started to flip his script a little bit. Because once again, this came out after Till My Casket Drops, where he was known for. As a matter of fact, that album starts off with like an article, like a news report of him going to jail for his lyrics. You understand what I'm saying? So with this one right here, you know, he started this one off after he had just done some more jail time and whatnot. Again, I believe. He starts this one off talking about it now in like a past tense. You get what I'm saying? And we don't know if he was really able to enjoy the fruits of his labor, which is probably why 4 Deep video came out a little later than it should have. I remember he had a video for Birds in the Kitchen, which is a dope song. Could have included on here, but it wasn't one of his best flows like these are, in my opinion. Now, you know, for you might think of another song. Murder Eddie Rent was dope. You get what I'm saying? Although he used the same verse on Living Like a Hustler. And if you go look at my video featuring Be Legit, you get that verse along with some more dopeness from him. But with this right here, though, I had to do this song because this song was just so dope. Man, Sebo just, quite frankly, it's one of my favorite songs. Let me just put it like that. It's one of my favorite songs by Sebo. And again, rapping from the past tense, but it's not only just the rap, but the beat that they use. Let me just go and say Heartbreak Hotel by the Jacksons, although the producer put his own little slap to it and everything else, and replayed it. It wasn't just sample, he replayed it. All in all, it's just a dope song. So we're going to go ahead and hop into it. This next one's called Death Riders by Sebo.
Now that a nigga seeing money, shit, I can smile and laugh. I got 20s on my Bentley and on cakes in front of my pad. And I still be mugging through up the west side of my photo shoot. And got TVs, 20s, and DVDs in my photo coupe. Got a stash spot in the airbag for when the popo swoop. Stay mobbing on the killer roof with the blast like Pac did in Juice.
Keep in mind, this is after Tupac died. This is a couple years after Tupac died or whatnot. You know what I mean? And he said, I still throw up the west side in my photo shoot. You know what I mean? And he said, I had on a thing like Pac did in Juice. You know what I mean? Man, love Tupac, man. Tupac was the most respected rapper ever because they knew he was about it, like for real. And he showed it in his lyrics, and he also said it and he also showed it in his lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go back, we're going to move forward. Here we go. Let me go back to this song. Let me start this up again. He said, because here's the part I was trying to say at the very beginning, because he wasn't able to see the fruits of the labor. He said, but now that I'm seeing money, I can smile and laugh. You know what I mean? Whew. You didn't catch that first time, so let me go again.
Now that a nigga seeing money, shit, I can smile and laugh. I got 20s on my Bentley and on cakes in front of my pad. And I still be mugging through up the west side of my photo shoot. And got TVs, 20s, and DVDs in my photo coupe. Got a stash spot in the airbag for when the popo swoop. Stay mobbing on the killer roof with the blast like Pac did in Juice.
Quick to blast like Pac did in Juice. That's what he said. And he said, I got stash spots in my car for when the popo swoop. Shout out Mac Dre. Mac Dre said, I got Rollos hitting my lows where the airbags used to be. I got an idea. That's the same thing he was saying.
Split proof with a bulletproof sipping gin and juice. Still mask with the men in blue. Stay strapped down with a Mac 10 or 2. Now how you wanna do it? We can get muddy or bloody.
My boy say, how you want to do it? We could get muddy or bloody. We could fight or we could shoot it out. It's up to you. How you want to do it? We could get muddy or bloody.
Now how you wanna do it? We can get muddy or bloody. I'ma still count cash, talk trash, step in the middle street whoop a nigga's ass. I'm westbound, crowned by 50 towns. That's how I do it. On your phone with your wife while you're getting beat down. That's how I do it.
In other words, he can whoop you. And while he's doing it, he's gonna be on the phone with your bro while you're getting beat down, with your wife while you're getting beat down. That's how I do it. Not just your bro, but your wife. Woo, Bo wasn't talking that talk.
I'm a mastermind in crime. I cause disaster with 1-9. Be behind 17 bodies all shot in the head one time.
He said, I'm a mastermind at crime. Doing disasters with 1-9. 9 bullets, leave them all shot in the head one time. One more time. That's not exactly how he said, but that's exactly what he said. Here we go.
I'm westbound, crowned by 50 towns. That's how I do it. On your phone with your wife while you're getting beat down. That's how I do it. I'm a mastermind in crime. I cause disaster with 1-9. Be behind 17 bodies all shot in the head one time.
It gets deeper. He said, I'm a mastermind at crime doing a disaster with 1-9. Leave all 17 shot in the head one time. In other words, the Glock 17 will do the dirt, and he could shoot 17 people in the head with one time. Each one of them got one shot to the head.
That's how I do it. On your phone with your wife while you're getting beat down. That's how I do it. I'm a mastermind in crime. I cause disaster with 1-9. Be behind 17 bodies all shot in the head one time. So think twice before you gaffle. From Cali to the Big Apple. All y'all names in one bag. We pulling death tickets like a raffle. I'm a rider for death slide with a tech dive.
So think twice before you gaffle from Cali to Big Apple. We got all your names in a hat, and we pulling them out like a raffle. Man, talk about flowing. if you didn't hear that hook, we're going to come back to it in a minute. But again, the hook is a rap, and the rap is the hook. Dopeness, man. You know what I mean? You know, Tupac did it as good, if not better. You know what I mean? But shout out to the great Sebo. Started that off.
Give it to him, hit the minute blue and I send it to him. Load up the death one from the Teflon, hollow tips spit straight through him. Niggas scream mo, never seen mo. Send him in 14 and he scream no. With no remorse, of course, I aim the tip of the torch and I scream go. Haven't you ever heard of a straight killer? One that makes real quick to break a nigga. Fuck fake niggas and my made a nigga.
Who was the first one to say, have you heard of the straight killer? I drop bombs like Irish. Okay, RBX said it in 91. Spice said it first, though, I think. It was right around that same time. That was RBX in 92. I think Spice was the first one that said that. I think Spice was the first one to say it. But, you know, if it's a dope line and you said it at the right time, it's going to be dope again. Both said that. Yeah. Have you heard of a straight killer? Yeah. That was dope.
Leave him abandoned and stranded, hit by chrome cannon. And he puffed and kick like a bull from the next planet. Haven't you ever heard of a straight killer? One that makes real quick to break a nigga. Fuck fake niggas and my made a nigga. Leave him abandoned and stranded, hit by chrome cannon. And he puffed and kick like a bull from the next planet. I wanna see me punk, I'm a thug lord. You a Cinderella quick to scrub floors. Behind your car during the war, you got a 44. Catch me in a 4-door ring.
That boy said you're a Cinderella because you scrub floors.
Straight killer, one that makes real quick to break a nigga. Fuck fake niggas and my made a nigga. Leave him abandoned and stranded, hit by chrome cannon. And he puffed and kick like a bull from the next planet. I wanna see me punk, I'm a thug lord. You a Cinderella quick to scrub floors. Behind your car during the war, you got a 44. Catch me in a 4-door range, switching lanes with blow brains. With Compton's revenge and the east side rider, no brains.
And he said you could catch me in a range. Now, I believe he had it because the next song on that album, one of the next songs on that album was called 4.6. He's talking about riding in his Range Rover. Shout out to my little cousin Banks, man. That's the last time I heard him slapping in the Supra before he got killed, man. You know what I'm saying? But, oh my goodness, Bo was him, though. That was him.
This West Coast Mafia to death do us part. I don't step with no marks. I let the Smith and Wesson bark. Who you are, nigga? You just a bitch in my book. You snitched and couldn't shook cause you done bit the hook. Bitch, I'm a rider for death, slide with a tech down for respect. And the nigga that step get slept with a test, will special ride with a vest. Homicide be the best test, better real life with a best friend. Surprise with a tech with a Teflon. This West side for death.
Homicide be the best bet. In other words, that's the way he gonna end it all. It's his best bet, you know what I mean? That's why he knows it's over with then.
I'm a rider for death, slide with a tech down for respect. And the nigga that step get slept with a test, will special ride with a vest. Homicide be the best test, better real life with a best friend. Surprise with a tech with a Teflon.
Now this right here is my favorite verse, y'all. This is my favorite verse. I may have to pause play a few times, but bear with me. Cause this is it right here. Remember earlier we talked about the house parties. I turn them out and bust caps at the end without a doubt. Now watch this right here.
Ain't no nigga gon' step on my toes without getting bullet holes through his car door or a broken nose.
Remember that line? How you want to do it? You get muddy or bloody. So hey, now we're at the house party. He said, "Ain't nobody gonna step on my toes without getting bullet holes through his car doors or a broken nose."
Ain't no nigga gon' step on my toes without getting bullet holes through his car door or a broken nose. They say I'm hostile, but I'm just raised block style.
They say I'm hostile, but I'm just raised block style.
The ever wanted nigga, never put my block down. I'm from the town where house parties be known for cracking for 10 minutes. Then it happens, niggas capping and scrapping.
I'm from the town where house parties is known for cracking for 10 minutes. No, that's it. Then it happens. You know what I mean? Because they started gangbanging and everything else. I seen that as a DJ, especially with the youngsters. The little youngsters start throwing their little gang signs and everything else, you know. It's an art to DJ in these kind of parties, but sometimes it still happen to get out of hand with the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? But when you got strong mamas and some daddies there, you know what I'm saying, and the DJ know what he's doing as far as the music goes, know when to cut it and whatnot, most times it didn't jump off when it could have, though, you know. But you really got to know what you're doing when you're DJing. Most times when a DJ is when you're at a club or something like that and it get hostile like that, it's because the DJ didn't see what was going on and or didn't know what to do as far as killing the music, taking them high for so long and then dropping it back down as far as like slow joint, let them get their freak on and everything else, your Pretty Rickies and all that kind of stuff, everything. It's an art to it. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what he's saying. House parties, most times didn't have no DJ, especially in the early days. You know, you just played the music and you have to know how to do it and when to cut it and everything else.
Sideways off they block, gang signs out the window, and it's fuck all cuts as I hit the shirt with the endo. Now
And he said it's bump all colors, you know what I mean, as I hit the sherm with the endo. You know what I mean? He said I'm striking out with gang signs out the window, so it's bump all the colors. He said F word, but you know, I said bump all colors. In other words, forget everybody, you know what I mean, when I'm off the endo, you know what I mean, with the sherm and the endo. So let's go back, we're going to go forward.
I'ma put my Glock down. I'm from the town where house parties be known for cracking for 10 minutes. Then it happens. Niggas capping and scrapping. The sideways off they block. Gang signs out the window. And it's fuck all cuts as I hit the shirt with the endo. Now I'm Superman and I'm quick to shoot a man.
I'm Superman and I'm quick to shoot a man.
If you step wrong, I send a Teflon through his chest bone.
If he step wrong, I send a Teflon through his chest bone.
I'm out for manslaughter. Must I test the water? I cop heat that explodes and it blows like Pearl Harbor. The hood is like a mini war. Don't know why put me in it for. Now I bang a gang, then I remain to kill any foe. It's critical and it's pitiful, cause money is all I'm in it for. In the hood on one knee, strapping my hand, you know what that is for?
I'm in the hood on one knee, strapping my hand. Now what they hitting for? In other words, we're shooting dice, we're in the hood, I'm on one knee with my strap in my hand. What they hitting for? Like, ready for whatever at all times. That's the end of that song. Look, I ain't gonna even get back into the hook no more. Lyric video will be on my page. It'll be up on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Seaball for that one. That's one of his classics. You know what I mean? Now this next song, I don't know how y'all feel about it. I don't know if y'all heard it before or not. But anytime you have this title, first of all, and shout out to MC Ren of NWA who do not get enough love. You know what I mean? Most people's favorite rapper out of NWA is either Easy or Ice Cube, or it's Ice Cube or Easy. But every so often you get an If It Ain't Rough. You get an MC Ren. And If It Ain't Rough was one of his dopest songs. Flow, saying something, no cuss words and everything else. Dre gave him a dope beat and everything else. Well, Sebo got a song called If It Ain't Rough as well. If you never heard it before, you're in for a treat because you're finna hear it now. Here we go. Sebo for the Life as a Writer album, If It Ain't Rough.
Scared of defeat, complete with a technique to your nick and I never smear, stay clear as ever clear. Been tight like this ever since I was ever near. Ride till we die, hit the stone, keep me faded. These diamonds you wear, man, and bitches keep me hated. Hate to see me floss, never cross, treated like a boss. When slugs fly, thugs die, boy, you at a loss. Best to get about it, boy, hit the heat. How that you ever cross a nigga deadly as me? A rip rider, west sider. My weapon is kept full of Teflon when we slider. So when you come, you better come blasting. All the big black wagon on me passing with your stupid black ass in. Protecting my life, killing you in the fight till I'm casting. It's a bust that I bust when I grip the gat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up, it's a bust that I bust when I grip the gat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up, I'ma go and block gangster, mission to execute. Swoop up in the cool, strap in my lap, ready to shoot. The hate that I made it, but shit can't stop me, dog. Lyrics attack like a plague. I'm too hot for y'all. I'm popular on the block by the cops and the robbers, better known as the mob father. Running with rock wallers, gunning with clip the 40 clocks, flip the block like 40 cops. Think they sicker than me, I jump into the clips empty. Think they richer than me, I flip 3 Bentleys, 4 minks and 2 mansions. Catch me dancing, platinum watch with the platinum links, platinum 911 drop Porsche, platinum ring. I'm in the club with the cat in the sleeve. If you come around here, then you know what's happening with me. I run shit, some bitch snitch it done quick. Trick the bird, I get way a ton when it's shit. It's a bust that I bust when I grip the cat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up, it's a bust that I bust when I grip the cat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up, I'm the definition of menace. Bang to the finish. T-shirt, khakis, Chris Gray is the image. Sitting in the front yard, puffing no spinach. A lack pull up with 4 red hats in it. I cock backs my heat, hops out my seat. Like y'all don't wanna fuck with me. Y'all ain't hard. I'm the motherfucking ghetto star. Gang banging in my front yard. I point the weapon, then I throw up the set. I know they know what's next. 40 Glock bullet holes through they neck. It's my neighborhood and everything in it. You can't hang in it and you can't swing in it. I run this concrete jungle where you can't fumble. And the mullahs in my hood ain't humble. Stack down where they act now, back down. So bring it on and get a crack crown. Nigga, I'm a vet. It's a bust that I bust when I grip the gat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up, it's a must that I bust when I grip the gat handle. I light 'em up and blow 'em out like candles. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. And if it ain't gangsters getting fucked up.
They do not give a producer credit for this song. And I just have to do it rock through so you can just feel the energy of it. You know what I'm saying? He just spazzed on that one right there. He just spazzed on this right here. And why he don't get the producer credit, I don't know. But that was one of his dopest songs right there, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If it ain't rough, it ain't me. Hey, and if it ain't gangsters getting, yeah. You might not have caught everything he said. He said the liquor store keep me faded. And then if you look at the album cover, you got the store right here. You know what I mean? And he's just showing he coming from there on 3 wheels. Riding on 3 wheels in a 6-point Impala. Like I said, 6-point Impalas, you're pressed to find one in the Bay Area. They don't ride them out here. But do they drive them in Sac? Evidently, because like I said, that LA culture definitely was up in Sacramento. You know what I mean? So, hey, but then he said, you better come blasting or the paddy wagon gonna have you with your stupid black ASS in. I love how you put those words together and made it all rhyme. You know what I mean? Then my boy said he gonna be at the club with a gat in his sleeve. Of all places. Most times they don't search you up here in the sleeve. You got your hands up, they don't search all up in your sleeve and everything. You know what I mean? Nasty work. And at the same time, probably was a security guard anyway. Just saying. You know what I mean? And then when I like the part where he say gang banging in my front yard. Why I think about Doughboy on Boys in the Hood when I heard that verse. You know what I mean? Anyway, like I said, hey, I don't know if he's one of your favorite rappers, but definitely one of my favorite, like I say, definitely on the West Coast, top 5, dead or alive from the West Coast. That's the way I feel about it. But moving on to another one. This right here is a forgotten one. As a matter of fact, Bo, I need to know why we can't get this album on Spotify. Why is this album not on Spotify? Dope album, one of my favorites, you know what I mean? And you can go check it out on his channel. It's on Sebo channel, you know what I mean? For the One Life to Live album. And there's some gems on that album, period, point blank. You know what I mean? The one with Lurch. Club Hopping even was a cool song. You get what I'm saying? And that's where we got Survival Verses on there. You know, with Marvelous, and I forgot who else it was, but I did that song on featured on the Outside song because on Outside he had 3 verses on there, so I came back with not Professional Baller, but it was not Professional Baller. Man, what's the song, man? What's the song by Sebo on that Outside video? But when I did the Flow Improval, just that song right there was actual reaction analysis, and I had to include a couple more songs just to show that the flow was proven. Bo been doing like this, rapping with 3 other songs on there and whatnot. It had Outside on there, and it had Can We All Ball was the other song, you know what I mean? Then I doubled back with Survival first, you know what I mean? When he went crazy. Well, on this one right here, this one is just Sebo on a solo flight. This one right here is called I'm a Fool from that album, from that One Life to Live album. So let's get this commercial out the way, and then we're gonna jump in.
Murder, baby. Murder, baby. For the money,
I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust.
came fresh out the county, cornrows and lopes. Stop by the weed spot, they give me a 50-sack of dope. Bounced off in the rig, on a mission to get keyed. Stop by the store, I see a bag of green leaf.
Now, when he said rig, you know, he most likely talking about one of them 87 shots, something like that. Clean Regal, he throw some golos on it, be cool. Not the Grand National, because if it was a Grand National, he would have said that. But they had the Regal, the luxury edition. Grand National was like the fast car edition. That's what you're talking about, one of them rigs.
All the homies hanging out, sipping Alizé and in, shooting dice on the track, on their way to the pen, packing heat, cause it's combat and killers don't die. Stay away from the weak, cause busters don't ride.
I like the fact that he told the truth on that. You know what I'm saying? Shooting dice on our way to the pen. Basically hanging out on the track, that's where you was on your way to, for the most part. You know what I mean?
I done tried to live my life without sinning, but jealousy hates to see the next man winning.
On that note, you know, sometimes you have to do dirt because they're going to come and try you. You know what I mean? When you up and you have your money, they're going to try you. You know what I'm saying? So he said on this song, I'm a fool. You know what I mean? Goes back to the other line where I was saying, where I referenced Scarface, don't test me because I'm tired of teaching lessons. You know what I mean? I'm up, I'm that man, you know what I'm saying? And the jealousy hates to see me winning, so I got to keep on proving that, you know what I'm saying? So as a consequence, I can't live my life without sinning.
So I say fuck a make a miss to write my paper and keep my mind visualizing on making paper.
So now I say I'm rapping about my capers, you know what I'm saying, and keep my mind visualizing on making paper. In other words, the street game ain't it, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm doing this rap thing, you know, trying to bubble it that way, you know what I mean? I done made it through that and everything else, and you see the consequences of it, and it's amazing how the older G's get, the more that they realize that, you know what, it's got to be a better life, you know what I mean? I thank God for showing me a better life. Long time ago, I was out there, I was a part of it, you know what I mean? I stayed true to it and didn't ruin it. You understand what I'm saying? But eventually we start to realize that, you know what, it's got to be something better. Now watch this next verse, though. First the hook.
I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu.
Here we go.
So duck when I bust. I hate little scrawny ass shit talking marks. I can see how you still kicking it, stitching on the park.
He said, hey, little marks. I can't see how you still kicking and snitching on the park. Snitching on your folks, snitching on the homeboys. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to rush me 20 deep in jail. You ain't pumping beer. If I was running your hood, I have you earn enough to give.
Y'all try to rush me 20 deep in jail, but you ain't pumping no fear here. If you was from my hood, I have you ironing up the gear. Let me take it back so y'all can pick up what he put down. Hold up. Here we go.
Kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool. Kicking up my dust in the Zulu.
No,
so
Bo was the
duck
real
when I
one.
bust, I'm a fool. Kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust. I hate little scrawny ass shit talking marks. I can see how you still kicking it, stitching on the park. Trying to rush me 20 deep in jail. You ain't pumping beer. If I was running your hood, I have you earn enough to give. Cause niggas like you ain't good for nothing but holding crack sacks and getting sent busted.
When he say getting sent busting, you'll be stupid enough to just pick up a gun and go shoot. Just get sent busting. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we ain't even ride with you because we know you're going to tell. So get sent busting.
I'm a G from the block and you don't remember me. Was smoking weed and packing straps when you was learning Navy SEAL.
I'm a G from the block. If you don't remember me, smoking dope. What do you say? Rolling dope and smoking weed when you was learning the ABCs.
The sky's clear blue. William Lance popping. Celebrity status got me strapped down with an automatic.
Back to that line when he said jealousy hates to see the next man winning. Now he's saying celebrity status. Celebrity status got me strapped down with an automatic.
Still stacking my loot in the coop. All the bitches swoop to get that poppin' conversation about what we can do. Legs up, draws down, beg, bold, low to pound and get this bomb ass dick that make you scream sack town. Fuck your man at home, baby girl, let's get it on. Won't do you wrong, I belong and strong, bitch, like I said. I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up my dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up more dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust, I'm a fool, kicking up more dust in the Zulu. So duck when I bust.
Great beat right here. Before you come back to the third verse. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. What song would you have put on this video? Let me know.
I'm hitting switches in the Bronx. At the moment on the south side, Gordon's its own. Niggas dumping on sight, trying to get a strike by putting niggas on the ghetto flight. And only the strong survive. Got the beanie on my eyes, flanked up in the sky.
Once again, I gotta say this, because this is all I think about when I hear lines like that. 5,200 subscribers by July 5th, 2025. Only the strong survive. You know what I mean? Man, oh man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And before I let the next line go, we're going to take it back so you remember where we was at before you say what you're about to say.
It's on, niggas dumping on sight, trying to get a strike by putting niggas on the ghetto flight. And only the strong survive. Got the beanie on my eyes, flanked up in disguise.
Only way to do a mission, he said, I got the beanie over my eyes like a ski mask when I flamed up in disguise. Got red on so to throw their sense of reality off. You know what I mean? This is some gang banging stuff and whatnot. I could be wrong on the line, but I think I'm right. As far as what he's rapping on here, all right?
Back in that Mossberg punk, yelling out 187 as I dunk. See, I'm a G, so it ain't no hesitating. I hit him up, shoot him up off the stolen Dayton's.
In other words, because he done it before, it's nothing to do it again. You know what I mean? And he coming on stolen Dayton's, you know what I'm saying? So in other words, all part of the disguise. Got on red, on some gold ones. They really don't know who this is, you know what I'm saying? They guards is down. And he's yelling out 187 as I dump.
And that's how we do it. At wartime, you catch me gone off the fluid. And hanging with some BG dudes. Trigger happy with the I don't give a fuck attitude. Can't wait to get they blast on with no ski mask on. Close range to the dome. And that's how we raise young G's. Show no remorse and kill all enemies. Set claiming, suicide banging, going head up, toe to toe, gun slinging. I'm a fool. Kick it.
Going toe to toe, whether it's head up or gun slinging. I mean, fight. What he said. One more time. Get the line right.
G's, show no remorse and kill all enemies. Set claiming, suicide banging, going head up, toe to toe, gun slinging.
Going head up, whether it's toe to toe or gun slinging. Done with that song, y'all. We done with that song. We almost done with the video, all right? So, look, we finna go ahead and get to this next one. And this right here is one of my personal favorites off the Autopsy. I already talked about America's Nightmare, but this right here, this was my personal favorite, mainly because of the sample. When you take a dope song and you make it your own as far as the beat goes. Again, shout out Mike Mosley them. And it says the dual committee, which was Keek the Sneak, and dual committee was Keek the Sneak and I don't remember if it was BA. It was Keek the Sneak and Agent Man. It was Agent Man. It wasn't BA. It was Agent Man. That was a dual committee. They had actually had a tape on their own once upon a time. But this was before they was known as 3 Times Crazy when this came out. And I wouldn't normally put it on here because we want solo raps. That's it. But on this, they joined in on the hook. That's what it was. If you listen closely, you'll hear Keek. You'll hear Agent Man on the hook. But when you take that back and forth by Cameo beat and slow it down, replay it all over again, and make it slap just as hard, classic. Or slap harder. Yeah, because remember, Totally Insane used it first, but then he used it, and just if you didn't know music that well, it just sounded like a dope beat. But when you know it like I know it, you know where it came from. So here we go, Sibo, Murder Man.
Going on to Whatnot to see how many Funko Pops I can buy with just one.
After we get through the commercials. In studio made it his own at the same time.
No, it's not the dog, but I'm here to speak to you all. I done creep through the back streets to meet with you all. See, I'm versatile, crazy flow in many styles. Never make mistakes cause I've been doing this for a long while. A G in this game, true to the game at that. Gave up the game of crack to get into the game of rap. Hoes screaming SIBO, down balling kilos of nationwide tapes and CDs to the East Coast.
Remember he said he's versatile? So he's saying, now look, especially not to get in trouble for his raps. He's talking real stuff. He said, now I'm balling kilos of tapes from the west to the East Coast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Here we go.
From the West Coast, and all the G's in Killer Cali get a toast. Now it's on, so don't take my shit wrong. But on the Brazil, take it how you whiz on. Cause we can put the gloves on or take it to the land of funk.
We could put the gloves on or take it to the land of funk. Again, like he said, muddy or bloody. It's the same concept, man. Bo talk the same talk just about on all his music.
And when funky gets realer than real, G, you better back up like an 8-leg and feel me.
So back up like an 8-leg crawdad. That's gas chamber right there. You better back up like an 8-leg. You know what I mean? They used to bag up or whatnot. You know, ready for whatever though. You know what I mean? But he said you better back up like an 8-leg. You know what I mean? You don't want none of this.
I go psycho, schizo, get off in your shit so deep, you'll be shitting out teeth. Who ride from the back with the battery pack, caught slipping in the blinds, like your forehead is cracked. It's a jack on the compound, warm with the bloodhounds. Niggas putting the shank down, the shackled on the greyhound. From up north to down south, from Paso to Nellis with the white boys telling us, don't fail, don't sag, make a nigga wanna get off in that ass.
That boy said from up north to down south. I guess talk about federal jail or whatever. From Paso, they're Nellis. It's what the white boys are telling us. You know what I mean? Did he say Paso to Dallas? Paso to Dallas? I never thought about that. Texas, states, cities, Texas cities.
Greyhound from up north to down south. From Paso to Nellis with the white boys telling us.
From Paso to Nellis. From Paso to Dallas. What the white boys telling us? Question mark. What the white boys telling us? Don't bail. Don't sag. In other words, that gangbanging stuff, can't do that here.
Don't bail. Don't sag. Make a nigga wanna get off in that ass. Cause I'm the type of nigga giving out hard knocks. Step in my face and watch a knockout artist knock. And that's the attitude I'm giving. That's why I'm still posted up on the cell block. Living, see, I was raised where we had to throw the hand, but could get sent to the pen, creep in the room for a dance. Push my TV under the bed, lock her in the corner, a shank for back up. This boy is a stoner.
Because I'm the type of brother passing out hard, step to my face and watch a knockout artist knock you out. And that's the attitude I'm giving. That's why I'm still posted up on the cell block living. That's why I'm still surviving. That's why I'm still here. See, I was raised where you had to throw them hands. And even in the pen, we can go to my room for a dance. Push my TV under the bed. Take your TV that you got, because they did have TVs in the penitentiary, I'm told. Push my TV under the bed, my locker over to the corner over here. A shank for my backup. This boy is a goner. We finna get him. I'm finna whoop his, you know what I mean? One more time.
On the cell block, living, see, I was raised where we had to throw the hand, but could get sent to the pen, creep in the room for a dance. Push my TV under the bed, lock her in the corner, a shank for back up. This boy is a stoner. Murder man, murder man. I'm the murder man, murder man.
Young kid, the young Asian man in the hood.
I'm the murder man, murder man. It's the murder man, murder man. I'm the murder man, murder man. It's the murder man, murder man. I'm the murder man. Fresh out, first victim bit his nose off and caught him with that sword off a 1957 straight razor, cut his balls off the.
Fresh out the pen, first victim got his nose bit off. Caught him with a sawed off. Anyway.
Fucking with a mental patient, kicking in doors, having flashes of blue faces. I got my 40 caliber blasted.
I guess blue faces first came out around this time. Big faces, blue faces, whatever. Home invasions, whatever. You know what I mean? They messing with a mental. One more time, because I want to make sure I got this right.
Often caught him with that song. Murder man, it's the murder man, murder man. I'm the murder man. Fresh out, first victim bit his nose off and caught him with that sword off a 1957 straight razor, cut his balls off. They fucking with a mental patient, kicking in doors, having flashes of blue faces. I got my 40 caliber blast and I'm deeper than I see with this shit. I'm known to pop in the clip and straight goes skits and had a whole parking lot held hostage.
I'm known to pop in the clip and straight go skits and have the whole parking lot held hostage. Nasty work.
And ride off on some pizzangs, double for a G and now the homies got his angs.
Ride off on them thizzangs. What's the word he used? Something about a G. And now the neighborhood. Oh.
But then I'll see with this shit. I'm known to pop in the clip and straight go skits and had a whole parking lot held hostage. And ride off on some pizzangs, double for a G and now the homies got his angs.
It's a come before a G. Now the homies got this angst. He said, I'm deeper than an MC with this, though. More than a rapper, you know what I mean?
Survival of the fittest, the menace when I'm blunted off the spinach. Down for the block to the very last drop, pull up the chop, make my prop.
Survival of the fittest. The menace when I'm blunted off that spinach, that weed. Down for the block to the very last drop.
Up on some his angst, dropping for a G, and now the homies got his angst. Survival of the fittest, the menace when I'm blunted off the spinach. Down for the block to the very last drop, pull up the chop, make my props. Funk season, so it's his own. Niggas waking up with AKs till they diz on.
They waking up with AKs till they diz on.
Asked about the bed, hands behind your back, rope around your neck, hanging on the dope track. It's just another one of those fatalities. Through the alleys of Killer Cali, pinata style. Dick in your name, the raw murder man, it's the raw murder man.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go stream some of Sebo's old school music. And he got new music. He's still dropping songs and albums. Sebo been at it for 30 plus years, y'all. 30 plus years with it.
Block monster, stumbling across the stage as I recite shit that I write, cause I'm one of those too cold to behold. So the crowd goes insane as I kick the episode about what I do daily and how these niggas pay me, letting them know I'm still standing taller than what God made me with some hardcore funk fucking speakers and these lyrics being kicked by the street knowledge preacher.
That break was so dope as I recite the stuff that I write, because I'm one of those that's too cold to behold. So the crowd goes insane as I kick the episodes about what I do daily and how these brothers pay me, let them know I'm still standing taller than what God made me.
Shit that I write, cause I'm one of
that breakdown, bro.
Block monster, stumbling across the stage as I recite shit that I write, cause I'm one of those too cold to behold. So the crowd goes insane as I kick the episode about what I do daily and how these niggas pay me, letting them know I'm still standing taller than what God made me with some hardcore funk fucking speakers and these lyrics being kicked by the street knowledge preacher. Did I reach up the untouchable? Can you feel me? Put one in your chamber, it's still realer than real. G, just keep your eyes.
Realer than real, one of his songs say still realer than real, G. Just keep your eyes.
Woke on the scene, cause when shit gets hectic, I put in check with the machine gun. Boo, but let's skip that other level, cause these lyrics are from hell, like they're possessed like the devil.
He said these lyrics drop from hell like they're possessed by the devil.
The raw murder man, it's the raw murder man, I'm the raw murder man, it's the raw murder man, I'm the raw murder man, it's the raw murder man, I'm the raw murder man, it's the raw murder man, I'm the raw murder man.
Shout out to you once again for making it this far. And you know what? I ain't gonna hold you for much longer. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna even break down this next song. It's just one to listen to that you gotta appreciate. You know what I mean? Him and Brother Lynch, they did a compilation or an album together. You know what I'm saying? And I think this song was just stepped on. But again, after seeing this video, particularly when you hear verses like what he finna spit on this right here, and understand that he been through it all, he lived it like he talking about it, you can't do nothing but appreciate him. So, look, I appreciate you making it this far, rocking with the boy, you know what I mean, DJ Ron, the classic DJ from the Bay, you know what I mean, and we took it all the way up to Sacktown with this one, y'all. Sebo, one of the greatest on any coast, not just California, not just the West Coast, but any coast, one of the best rappers in the game. Top 10 on my list. One day we'll talk about my top 10 list. Best believe Sebo is on there, you know what I mean. I got Tupac, I got Scarface on there, and there's a few more of them. You know what I mean? There's a few more, Ice Cube, and a few more of them. This is freestyling. I can't just name them all, but just know that they on there. And I'm gonna put y'all on my list too, especially again, like, comment, subscribe. Go back. I'm gonna put the lyric videos up for each one of these songs on there. So I got some work to do over the next couple of weeks, but they'll be there. And then get ready for the next one. One of the greatest that ever done it. You know what I mean? It's going to drop on my birthday, too. Laura said the same. We'll have that one for my birthday, you know. But anyway, check this out. Make sure you check out Reaction Analysis where we did with the new music. But this right here, timeless classic, flow, improve. flows that have definitely been proven throughout the years. Some of these songs are 30 plus years old. You know what I mean? This one right here, if you haven't heard it, you're in for a treat. This is called Dedication from the Block Movement album. It says it's him and Brother Lynch, but this is straight C-Ball here. Just listen to it while it flows on out. His life story, life history.
Young Dice, Q-Ball, all the homies, all my niggas locked up in the state penitentiary, from Mill Creek to Avenal to Hatchery, Hot Desert to New Folks. My eyes open, I tried to focus. I see my mother squeezing my hand, teary out behind her. I see my brother, and I wonder how quick the game can take me under. I felt the bullet strike in the back, then I heard the thunder. Now I'm thinking, is it too late for me to make a change? I knew this war was for the sake of, that's just a part of the game. A young thug, they always scream, I ain't afraid of rain. I would just fight it out with God if I had no one to blame. From all the dirt I did, stats and verses to pay the rent. I knew it would all get up to me, man. I hope I'm heaven sent. I used to be the main one screaming, nigga, I'm prepared to die. And when it came down to me laying on the deathbed, I was scared to die. No evidence on the killer, but found a bird inside my dresser. And if I don't die here, I'll die in Tracy or Hot Desert. I can't win for losing to me, the whole game's a snake. Never thought about killing myself, but I refuse to die of snake. Nigga, I've never been sitting in your car, nigga, rolling up a blunt, and a nigga just step up to your window and give you a whole clip? Nah, you ain't never had that, huh? You ain't never experienced that, huh? Shit. Have you ever been walking to the park with you and your kids, your family, and a nigga come out of the bushes, nigga, and give you and your family a whole clip? Nah, you ain't never experienced that, huh? I remember when I had it made 13 for a whole bird. Catch me coming down the street clowning in my convertible for a curb. I used to be all on the curb, trying to holler at me a shorty. With my right hand nigga, you love on the side of me, sitting up on the 40. Me and my nigga had it made. We used to eat and fuck the same bitches. We used to spend weeks and months on the corner trying to maintain our riches. Remember we used to cut and go to other schools and I slayed them niggas in lyrics? Had the whole school late for class, but they all wanted to stay in here. I wanna thank you, my nigga, cause every time I met Boy, you was on my side. Remember that time when you almost died, nigga, and I saved your life? Yeah, my dog, that ain't shit, nigga. I do that 1,000 times. Remember back when we was kids, nigga, and I had like 1,000 rhymes? I even got me unloaded the Desert Eagle, nigga, that saved my brothers. The other niggas started to fall until they shit when their ass got smothered. So my niggas sitting in the cell, doing 34 with an L. They can't separate us by jail. We all stuck in the same hell. I love you, dog. And life was life. You live and you die. That's what we here for. Since I'm black with a record, can I defend myself when someone tries to kill me? These laws are motherfucker, dog. I know a nigga got life and did it 3 times. They still locked up doing life. What's up with that Jim P. Wilson? Shit, man, Wilson a motherfucker. 3 strikes you out. 2 strikes and a 5 ball you out. Can't get around it, dog. Damn, if my niggas ever get out, I'm in my room, nigga, what can I do to make ends meet? Get on the phone, have my whole crew meet me at the end of my street. I ain't with having no weed to smoke, no drink, and being broke. Nigga, we got to hit a bank, no, and that's real, no joke. Take me over to the mother project so I can still be a wiggle. Then we gon' roll over the big hoop out so I can pick up these desert niggas. Y'all fools ready for this, nigga? It's only cracking at noon. We gon' get in and get out quick with all the money that we get consumed. We hit 'em right, we hit 'em hard, nigga, and I got addicted. Man, this shit like a monkey on my back, and I can't kick it. Don't drop face left and right, everything was going good till I hooked up with this one nigga from the other side of the hood. He was a hothead, he coming to the bank, shooting guards and shit. When we got out the bank and spent the money, the other niggas he was robbing shit. When the feds came zipping around, that's when I knew he was a bitch. When the feds hit my house and laid me on the ground, that's when I knew he was a snitch. How many niggas can you really, really trust? How the fuck can you go to war when your niggas ain't prepared to die? Scared to die. How can you be in the game if you scared to get cracked, niggas? Y'all niggas is doing crime and y'all not ready to do the time. What y'all niggas really need to do, they focus on y'all books. If you ain't ready to fight the hook. West Coast Mafia. Wanna give it out to my nigga Dude Dub. You know what I'm saying? With love. The Mind Figures. My brother Young B. Lil Bo. The nigga T-Lo. Paul. The nigga Mouse. Young Hubbard Buck.